Hello. Let's start off with this. It's going all right. How are you? I already finished most of my homework on here today, so playing some other stuff later. God, I have so much stuff on here. I have so much stuff. Sometimes I forget how long I've been playing this game. Years. It's been about 3 years now. Okay, I think this is supposed to be best in slot on her. I have so much shit on here. I have so much stuff. God damn. There's so much of it in here. I maxed out the card inventory, because if you know me, you know my streams, they get really agitated when I have to deal with inventory. And now I pretty much never have to do it. It used to be that the useless stuff in this game, you couldn't even do anything with it. It's nice that they did that at least. Let's get rid of one of these crap sets I don't use anymore.
いい空風だわ。
I need to get all of her stuff, huh? Alright. I'll probably buy like one pack. So I get paid in a couple days. I'm thinking about it. As much as I like PGR, I'm only playing it like 20 minutes a day. This is kind of like a better deal right now. I'll admit that much. You know, this actually isn't bad either. I'm gonna buy that right now. I don't know how I can do that on here though. Oh. Okay. Just to make sure it's not gonna show anything. Make sure I'm protected. That's actually a good deal. You know, that's actually a lot better than Honkai Impact. Because when I was playing that game, you couldn't do that. You had to... when I first started playing that game, you had to have it on emulator or have it on the phone. And the problem with that is that game is like... It's like almost 10 gigs. So... pretty much on any non-like $3,000 phone. That's a lot of space. That's actually really nice that they let you do that. It's like, hey, you can still buy stuff while you're at the PC. It's just you have to do it from the phone. And of course, they get the full money doing that too, which is nice for them. That's actually pretty sweet. I was wondering how that worked on here. Didn't want to spend more than $2. Got nobody. Nobody. That's okay. Best thing that would happen is I get Ryu one more time, and then I use the pity selector to get him to A3. Oh. I could definitely do that for free. What's up, Radical? How you doing, man? You doing any better? I'm doing alright. Just felt like doing some grinding. You know how it is. What is this? Is my night going? I'm going alright. You know, I have that gift card money, so I'm thinking, like, I'm thinking about what I should buy right now. I have that money. I kind of had to scrap saving it for the graphics card because of all the other expenses and shit I've had to pay. Like I might do it. I'm thinking about it. I just don't know what the best thing to buy is. That's good to hear. It's always good to hear my friends are thriving. Oh, I forgot. I need to max out her cores. No, there isn't. Not at all. There's nothing coming out next month that I know of. It's looking like a pretty dry month. Like not anything that interesting. No, Jitsu Squad comes out like tomorrow, so I mean, I guess that counts. But that game's gonna be getting stuff added to it for a long time, so I'll definitely be playing that for a while. Other than that, no. I think there's a PGR update next week. That's kind of why I'm playing this right now. It's one of the reasons why I came back. Other than that, no, not really. I actually don't mind at all. I've had so many games to play this month. Luckily, they were all like on the shorter side, but there was a lot of shit to play this month. It's nice to have a bit of a break. I had like too many games to play this month. I uninstalled Stranger of Paradise. I'm not touching that game again until they fix it. It was really making me frustrated, and it's like the game itself. The game is frustrating too. I don't want to sound like it's not, because it is. But that was less frustrating than... It was less frustrating than how poorly it ran. That's the ironic thing. Like actually playing that game, it was frustrating. It just ran like garbage. I didn't feel like I could even make a video on it because it ran so bad. Like, it just wasn't a good situation to be in. I feel like that game is popular enough that if people want, reviews on it, there's plenty of them out there already from like smaller channels like mine. I'm not talking about the clickbait channels. I think it's a better idea to avoid them. Avoid them with like bigger games like that. Apparently the game didn't sell very well either. Which kind of doesn't surprise me, to be honest. It does not surprise me at all that it didn't sell well. I think that game is one of the ones where the demo hurt it. I think that game, it's a good example for why publishers don't like to put out demos anymore. I think that game is why, because there's like, it doesn't look like a modern game. It doesn't run like one. Well, I guess in some ways it does, because there's lots of modern games that run that badly. Like it, the demo probably turned off a lot of people, and the problem was that the last demo came out like a couple days before release, so all that feedback they got from that, they can't use. Maybe in like a month or two, they'll probably put out a patch that will like make that game a lot better. But the way it is now, it definitely sucks when that happens. I feel bad for the developers of that game. I really do. I feel like they got the shaft. But that's what happens a lot. Publishers really screw over games like that. I see, it's the best thing in here to get. So I'm enjoying playing this again, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Get this, and then... Alright, I gotta wait for the code to come, so let's play a little bit. Why, is there anything I should be looking forward to next month? 'Cause I can't think of anything. I'm drawing a blank, man. I can't think of any games next month. Seems like a dry month for me, which I totally do not mind after this month's insanity. Non-stop games coming out. Yeah, exactly. That's why I just bought a gift card for this. Like, why not?
Ready, fight!
さあ行くわよバレバレよ
Excellent!
I don't know, I heard that there was like some kind of tariff passed on graphics cards that might actually make them a lot cheaper. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna enjoy that gift card I got. I worked hard for it. Might as well enjoy it with shit I can get now, you know? I still would have had to raise like about $600 anyway. How expensive they are right now. I got this new controller. The new controller came today, by the way. That's what I'm on right now. It's working great. So I think that other one just crapped out. I have no explanation for it at all. It just stopped working.
Ready. Fight.
And I got a warranty for this one, so
後悔させてあげる
I don't have to worry about that. If this one craps out, I don't have to pay any more money. It's something I should have done the first time, but I can be stubborn with that stuff sometimes. I feel like a lot of times warranties on like electronics are not needed. That's something I always had that belief until like a couple years ago when I got the Switch. That made that belief crumble real fast. There was a pair of Joy-Cons I went through that they started drifting after like 2 months of regular gameplay. I'm not even talking about like, you know, Smash Brothers for 18 hours a day. Like, just normal person amount of gameplay. Like, that changed that philosophy of mine real fast. I went through so many Joy-Cons. And like, you know, just this once for this one thing, like, having the warranty is actually worthwhile. They usually are, yeah, if you like are somewhat responsible, take care of your stuff. Generally don't need it, but I think the Joy-Cons really shattered that world belief for a lot of people. Joy-Cons, if you like look at them the wrong way, they break. I think those are the worst controllers they put out, really. I can't imagine buying a Switch Lite. The Joy-Cons are like permanently grafted on there and you can't take them off. What happens when they drift? Like, you just screwed? Ah, damn.
You lose.
Dude, the Switch Lite just terrifies me. Alright, my gift card arrived that I sent to myself. Let's see. I don't know, Animal Crossing is a lot of holding the analog stick up, too. I don't think that has any bearing on it. I mean, shit, it could happen playing Pokemon, trying to do the breeding method. Trying to breed Pokemon and the Joy-Con starts drifting. I could totally see that happening. I mean, there's kind of a science behind it, really, because it's always the left analog stick that goes, because it doesn't matter what game you're playing, unless it's like something that doesn't use it, like Streets 4. You're always holding it up all the time. Whereas you don't have that much motion on the right analog stick, unless you're playing like a first-person shooter. That's like pretty much the only genre where you're using it that much. Those things are a scam, though. I really don't like the Joy-Cons. I think they're the worst thing they put out. I've been using their stuff for a long time, so... He got something. Ah, junk. Poop. Alright. Let's go to pity. We're just gonna skip these. Oh boy, look at that. What a great drop. I don't deserve it. Oh, another great drop. Wow, I'm thrilled. Thanks, game. Another great drop. There he is again. Wow. You don't know when to leave. Worst possible drop. Sorry, I got pity, so that's good.
強さの秘訣は日々の鍛錬よ。いい空風だわ。
Cool. Okay, so the only character I don't have is Luke Skywalker. I got everybody else. Alright. Tatakai. Alright, cool. What do I get for that? I just get stones. Hell yeah. Alright, so we're gonna use her to get through the other tower. That's the plan. There. That should be pretty significant. Can I make her card? Oh damn, I'm 3 off. How close am I to another copy? I have like 15 bucks left on that card, so I'm like, man, when is the Switch 2? When Switch 2? Switch harder. They really need one. I subscribe to this guy who, he plays the games on emulator, and like, man, they look so much better. Like 60 FPS, higher resolution, like no contest. Switch 2 being a small upgrade, man, that would suck. That would suck so hard. Well, at least it would have backwards compatibility. They're not held back by a gimmick anymore, like the Wii U. Wii U and the last 3 generations of Nintendo consoles have had gimmicks that hold it back. Like, they can't, that's kind of why they had to stop doing backwards compatibility. Like, the Switch is pretty basic. I mean, the Switch has a gimmick too, but it doesn't prevent them from... It doesn't prevent them from having backwards compatibility anymore, so... I think my biggest question would be when they do announce it, are the developers going to go back and patch the games? Because that's, like, the biggest thing. Because the way that kind of stuff works is that if they, if the game runs uncapped, then the developer doesn't have to do anything to it at all. Luckily, there are a lot of games that run uncapped on the Switch. So, like, a decent chunk of them wouldn't need any extra work done. But there's lots like Age of Calamity and stuff that run like shit. And, the frame rate is capped at 30. I mean, they're kind of already doing that with the PS5 right now, to be honest. There's a lot of games that run like garbage, and a lot of them aren't like super big ones. Like they aren't super big name games.
Ready. Fight. You win.
Like that's why a lot of people are doing Elden Ring on PS5 with what's it called? The PS4 version on the PS5. As I guess the game runs uncapped, but the native PS5 version like has more effects and stuff that you can't turn off. I've been hearing a lot of people have been saying that like that's the best console version of that game, which is really weird, but it's kind of what happens when you uncap a frame rate. Is that sometimes you can take crappy versions and you can just kind of fix them yourself. But the problem is a lot of the games are capped at 30, so somebody would have to sit down and fix it.
Ready. Fight. Fight. You win.
ムーラの無力さ知るがよい
Ready. Fight.
I think they'll probably announce one this year. I think they will. I have a strong belief that they will announce it this year. It really seems like they will.
Ready. Fight.
Probably wanted to do it. Probably wanted to do it last year, but the whole chip shortage probably stopped that. Not like it matters. I hear that situation's getting slightly better. I think they estimate by like next year it should be at least a little bit easier to get that kind of stuff. That thing's gonna be scalped to hell anyway. Doesn't even matter. especially since it'll be backwards compatible, so it'll be like the PS5.
Fight.
Just like one of the biggest things about it is it's literally just the same thing but better. There's no downside to it at all.
Excellent.
The last couple gens of consoles haven't been like that. You know, PS3 to PS4, you lost backwards compatibility. Only the George Foreman grill model had that. They gave you like that crappy PlayStation Now streaming, which is no replacement for it.
Fight.
Like 4 to 5, literally just it's just the PS4 again, but better, and it plays all the old games, and they run better. Some of them even get patches. So everybody's gonna want that thing. It's not gonna have any kind of disadvantage. That's how it's always been.
運路の無力さ知る
You
が
know,
い
and they put out the Wii U and lost GameCube backwards compatibility. So like hundreds of games you couldn't play anymore.
Ready. Fight. Excellent. Fight. You win.
That's kind of what the Steam Deck is like too.
知るがい
The Steam Deck is literally like every game you own already, you can play it on there and it runs. Most of them anyway. Seems like most of the games you'd actually want to play have already been tested. Can you imagine? That thing can run like every stylish action game ever made. People already have shown it like running like Neo 2 and DMC 5. I want to see somebody run Assault Spy on there. The Academy Award winning game. I can't see why that wouldn't run, but I haven't seen any evidence that it does. But man, that thing is nuts. I wonder if you could stream off it. That would be pretty sick for me. That's how my life currently is. I could do like up to PS3 emulation too.
You win.
運路の無力さ知るがよい
I already have Switch emulators running on it. Wow, I did not know that. That's nuts. I don't think the dock is out for it yet, though. The dock is coming later, so... For me, personally, that's the only downside to that thing. The dock is coming later. The dock is essentially what would allow me to hook it up to the capture card. How can they shut it down? There's nothing they can do about it. Especially since it's easy to rip your own games. I've ripped my own games before. Shit, I have a legal rip of Tales of Innocence R on this computer. That's from my own physical copy. Like, the emulator itself is not illegal. How can they stop it? That's pretty scummy if true.
Ready. Fight.
That's why I wanted to hack my Switch. It was like, I already own like almost all the games I like on there, besides new stuff that comes out. It'd be nice to just dump my own games and then just put them on the emulator, which is a hell of a lot easier than finding some shady site. Oh. I'm like, yeah, they legally can't do anything about an emulator. They can't do anything about that. I was like, what?
You win.
軍らの無力さ知るがよい
Ready. Fight.
Maybe make better hardware so people wouldn't feel like emulating. I guarantee you most of the people using that have legally bought those games. They probably didn't dump them themselves, they probably downloaded them, but they already legally bought them. You already got your money. It's just the games run like shit on the actual hardware. That's really all it is. You guys have failed to fix the problem that the emulator runs the games better, and people are ripping their legal copies of the games off their Switches or their cartridges, playing them on the emulator because they run better. Like, whose problem is that? People would be a lot less inclined to do that if games they legally bought for full price, like Age of Calamity, didn't run like a Flash game. Like, the ball's in your court, Nintendo.
軍らの無力さ
Because I have the philosophy of, like, I don't want to deal with that stuff myself. I don't want to. I would rather just have the game run fine legally. Not have to deal with any of that. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, my brain's off usually around this time of night too. Blame you. What is this? This Osaka remix is so good. I really like the music in this game. Most of it's just ripped from the old KOF games, but there are some original tracks in this. They're really nice. This is a remix of Kyo's theme.
なんか面白そうだな。
運らの無力さ知るがよい。
戦いの中答えはある。
Is there anything else even good in here? Pretty much just these. That's like the one good thing. I did just buy one of the packages, so I like don't really need this stuff. She probably still can't clear it. I'm willing to bet she can't.
戦いの先
She's really weak. We're probably gonna buff her, so people are gonna get pissed off. It's happened before. I don't remember what collab it was. It was, I think it was the Seven Knights one. One of the characters was crappy, and they they buffed her. I don't have any of his shit unlocked, huh? Alright, what else is in here? Still didn't get Luke Skywalker.
戦いの中答えはある。
I don't know. I think he's a lame character. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's so lame. We'll probably cool him up later. I don't know. They're just pushing him so hard that I don't think anybody actually likes him. Like, they're pushing that character so hard. I just think his fighting style is dumb. I mean, the character design's not bad. It looks like they've already, Street Fighter 6 trailer kind of indicates that they have already... They've already tried to, redesign him. But I think his fighting style is really lame. He just feels generic. Like, not that interesting. They really want you to like that character, though. Like, they really want you to. I don't know. He hasn't had any time to prove himself. Oh, yeah, I get 1,500 from this too. I don't know if I care about Luke.
戦いの先へ
I don't know if I care about him, to be honest. I'm thinking I don't. Hello. Oh wow, free invite. Free invite. There's so much stuff in here I don't use. Oh wow, that's actually not bad. Huh. I think I'm done with this for tonight.
軍らの無力さ知るがよ
I've harvested most of the good stuff out of here. Most of it. And this is kind of just like a refund. It's like a refund, pretty much. Yeah, let's play something else. Anything coming out this year? I'll go over that in a second. I gotta wait for the game to close. This year... been waiting on this game for a while. I have no idea when it's coming out. This game looks sick. I think this is one of those games that they're just making their spare time. This game's been... They announced this game ages ago. I don't even know if they update. There's only like 4 people working on it. They just posted a video 2 days ago, so I'm still working on it. But yeah, this game looks solid. My kind of shit. I like pixel art games. I like pixel art games with fast movement. I'm waiting on that one. Bushiden's supposed to be out this year. I don't know when. I'm really excited for this too. I mean, it's a ninja game, so I kind of have to play it. You know how much I love ninjas. And ninjas are always like the best characters to control in video games. So I'm hoping they deliver. I don't know if this game's still coming out. But this is like a character action roguelike. Looks very Vanillaware-esque. Like how the combat works and stuff. I don't know, the animation looks really clunky, but It's whatever. These guys had to, they had to drop their publisher because there were a lot of allegations against them. So we can kind of forgive that the animation doesn't look that great, but looks like something I'd really enjoy. I'm looking forward to that. It's supposedly supposed to be out this year. Actually, this is coming out pretty soon. Oh yeah, this comes out in May. I need to play the demo for this. Like my kind of jam, pixel art melee combat platforming. Well, this doesn't count. That's out like very soon. Very soon. Literally tomorrow. That's out. Machina Blade. I'm waiting on. This game looks sick too. Another kick-ass pixel art game with cool movement. They just posted a clip like yesterday. Gray's Counter GM. I'm waiting for. This game actually comes out in a couple days. So I'm gonna buy this. Buy this with channel money. It's like a PS2 jank roguelike with like melee combat. So I'm very excited for this. Looks pretty good. It's like just run around in small arenas and kill shit and upgrade. I'm all for it. You know, I found this game a couple days ago. This looks cool too. Morbid Metal is a. I think this is a character action roguelike. Yeah, this looks solid too. Maybe this guy can top Assault Spy. This looks sick. It's a roguelike too, so I'm really feeling this. It's like there aren't many roguelikes that have like really good melee combat. There are very few. And the fact that it's made by one guy doesn't even faze me because Assault Spy is Academy Award winning in my book. And that is made by one guy. Who knows when this is coming out. I'm really excited for this. I could see that being something I'd put at least 100 hours into. I really like the art style of this. Like, really high quality voxels. Looks really nice. I don't know about the gameplay though. Yeah, don't really show much gameplay. It's one of those kind of crappy trailers where they're like, look at how great our graphics are, but we're barely going to show you the game. It's always a buzzkill to me. Hopefully that game will deliver. This looks sick too. This has no release date. All right, ninja game. So obvious interest. Chinese ninja game. I'm all for it. Although this trailer is barely showing any gameplay. My least favorite kind of trailer. Yeah, this looks fucking amazing. This trailer's got too many cutscenes intertwined in it. At least they show some gameplay. I kind of have a worry this will be one of those indie games that, like, looks great, but then the gameplay is jank. Which is what's really weird about these games, is they look so much better than, like, PS2 jank, but they play about the same. There's a lot of indie games like that. Where, like, the graphics are way above, like, the art direction and stuff is, like, way above, like, PS2 jank. I mean, like, stuff that's, like, not Devil May Cry and stuff, but, like, the other action games on there that are pretty crappy. But then they play about the same as those jank games. So I hope that game won't be like that. That's a very real fear. Like, there's so many indie games, they look beautiful, but they play about as good as, like, bargain bin PS2 stuff. A lot of them fall into that trap. Like, they have like AAA quality, like, people doing the visuals and stuff, but then, like, they don't really have anybody really supervising the gameplay. This comes out ninja game, so it even says the title there. Category user defined tag ninja. I'm excited for this too. Oh wow, that looks awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. I must have that game. Uh, this looks like some jank I could get behind. It looks awful, but they're doing some pretty sick shit. Look at that clumpage. Yeah. I can get behind some jank looking stuff. Oh man, yep, throw them all to the side and combo them. That's a sign of quality right there. Oh! That makes me very happy. This probably be like $8. I'll try this game. Ooh. Dude, what the hell was that, man? Freaking double trigger. I don't know why this is in here. I own this game. Let's get rid of that. Barely any unedited gameplay. Probably God Hand clone. Oh man, I'm all about this game too. Man, look at that pixel art. Combat looks pretty good too. I'm excited for this. I played the demo for this. I think the movement didn't feel that great, but I also only played it like once. But it didn't immediately grab me. Big thing for me in platformers is movement. How good the movement is, like how in control I feel. I mean, it's kind of how I am with action games too. But I don't know, the bouncing mechanic. I kind of didn't like it that much because it slows you down so much. It didn't feel like it had that much flow. But the demo was like, I think like a year old or something. So boss fights felt kind of boring too. This one's got potential. I'm very pick. I'm a lot more picky with platformers than action games for sure. I know people probably don't believe me, but I am. Because there's like thousands of indie platformers, but they're just like Mario but worse. Ones like Meat Boy and Celeste are like pretty rare. This looks pretty cool too. It's Chinese, so you know it's gonna have like sick combat. That's basically it. That's the gist of it for now, anyway. I'm sure there'll be some bigger games announced. There'll be some bigger games announced soon, but mostly I'm looking forward to smaller stuff until the bigger stuff comes out. E3. It's E3 and TGS in like the next 6 months. Probably be a Nintendo Direct in the next few months. But yeah, that's basically it right now, really. That and Bayonetta 3. But that doesn't have a release date. And honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. My plan with that game is to hack my Switch, legally buy it, and just play it on emulator. I don't have any faith that they can get that game to run well on that crappy hardware. I really don't. That's like my full disclosure plan. I'll still buy the game, yes. I'm not going to pirate it. Because that just ensures that they won't make another one. But I really don't want to play that game on the Switch. I'm actually kind of annoyed that nobody else will fund them but Nintendo, as they have the worst hardware for that kind of game. Even worse than the base PS4. That's like my biggest concern with that game, is that the hardware sucks. Like, you can't really run that kind of game. I do have a Switch that can be jailbroken, but I don't know how to do it. I'd have to find someone in town to do it. But that would be pretty sick if I could do that, because I already own like over 200 games on there. I just dump my own legal copies and just play them on the emulator. I think that would be pretty nice. A lot of the games have 60 FPS patches and stuff, but I don't want to go on some shady site downloading that kind of thing. That's not good. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but that's just my instant, immediate thought with that game. That, and I don't want it to be like the second game, where that game didn't let you be creative at all. That they've shown like barely any gameplay. They haven't really talked about the mechanics. That kind of thing's not going to be revealed until someone like me gets their hands on it. Bayonetta 2 is a massive disappointment. I didn't get to play that game until it came out on Switch. I really didn't like it that much. There were some nice things about it.
I don't need weapons. I am the weapon.
I don't know. I can also say that that power she has, where she summons the contract demons, looks super gimmicky. And I hope it doesn't take over the game like Umbran Climax. So Umbran Climax was just fill up a bar and just mash buttons. Pretty much all the death was gone because they didn't let you stagger anything. Hopefully it'll be like a little bit more controlled than that. Not just push a button, the demon comes out, and then just mash. There's some nice things about Bayonetta 2, though. It's not a terrible game. It's just a downgrade. It's a downgrade in the stuff that matters, the gameplay. So I hope the new one's not going to be anything like that. Like, let me have fun. No more enemies teching out after I hit them like twice. See if I can learn if I can do the hype combo. 100% combo. A crappy version of it, but there you go. Oh, I'm sure they will. This game did way better than they thought. You know, there's been like almost no presence of this franchise before this came out. The most you got was Axel and Blaze were in Project X Zone, which is like a super niche strategy RPG that's 3DS exclusive. They have not been in anything at all. That and like one mobile game that shut down super fast, Sega All Stars or whatever it was called. And you gotta think about how much time passed too. I mean, I was like 8 when 3 came out. When this game came out, I was already in my 30s. So like, that was a factor too. All the people that grew up with it are all like my age or even older now. Not everybody has time. They have families and kids and stuff. And somehow it did really well despite all those problems. Like, brand recognition is not that great either. It's mostly people my age that would even know what Streets of Rage is. But they sold like, I think it was over 1 million copies. Which for a game like this is a lot. Yeah, there were a lot of things against this game doing well that don't have anything to do with the gameplay. Just the fact that it was just a dead franchise for so long. Didn't really have any kind of brand recognition at all. Except aging millennials like me. Yeah, there's a kid in this. There's a, I think he's like 15. There's a kid in the Streets 4 community that like speed runs this game, and like those games, the older ones are older than he is. They're like almost twice his age. He's like proof that. He's proof that this kind of stuff does appeal to younger kids. I think they just had to be given a chance to play it. Yeah, that kid's a teenager. He's like 14 or 15. I forget what his name is, but he's a pretty prominent member in the community, despite being like half the age of everybody else. There's a decent amount of people in the Streets 4 community that are like around my age, married. One of the older demographic gaming communities for sure, for a modern game at least. You know, they have, well, I think his name is Jerk. He's like a young kid. He really likes this game. So they did something right. Kind of proves that it's false that kids can't enjoy this stuff. You just need to be given access to it, given a chance. So, I mean, that kid was legit not alive when those games came out. Even not even thought of. He likes it just as much as old farts like me do. The Streets 4 community is really nice too, so it's cool that he fits in. They're all like pretty much mature adults. There's no drama. I'd say that, and the Neo community are like some of the best gaming communities I've been involved in. Just nice people. People are willing to help you learn. No toxicity at all, which is nice. Although with this game, I think the age bracket of people interested in this stuff helps. This game fashion like this isn't gonna fight that many bad apples. So yeah, the odds were against them with this game. Like, even just the game existing. Like, the fact that it exists is crazy. Because it's like, if they really are making a new Final Fight, like, you know, those characters have been in Street Fighter for decades, so it's like not that much of a stretch. But like, Street's characters haven't been in anything worthwhile, like, widely played at all. Project X Zone in a mobile game, like, that's it. Like, I can see why there's a rumor that they're making a new Final Fight. I think there's a market for it. People that didn't grow up with the games, but they're familiar with them from Street Fighter. This franchise, the competitor to Final Fight back in the day, didn't have that kind of advantage. Sega didn't do anything with this for the longest time. Yeah, I think that's probably why they were rumored to be making a Final Fight, because the characters are popular even if there hasn't been an actual Final Fight game in like almost 20 years. They still have a lot of brand recognition with it. This was the complete opposite. No brand recognition. I still think this is one of the most out of left field game announcements in a long time. Like, everything against them. You know, these guys had made a beat 'em up before. A lot of people don't realize that. I remember when this was announced. I was excited because I worked with these guys on their previous game, which was like an indie game. But that game is a really solid beat 'em up too. But, you know, that game was not popular, so people thought it was like a Metroid Prime scenario where they got like random nobodies to make a game that's a franchise that's as influential as this. It's like, nope, these guys have made a game like this before. They didn't get some programmers off the street. They did their research. I don't think Sega, if Sega had made this themselves, I I don't think it would have been as good as it is. Making games like this is kind of a lost art. Like, there's still some people that can do it, but most of them aren't at, like, big studios like that. Yeah, I don't know how the Final Fight game will turn out. If it's even true that it's coming out. I'm willing to bet this game is probably a big influence on it, though. However far along they are on it. If that game comes out and it's just punch and jump, I'm not going to be interested at all. I need something like this that's moving the genre forward with more freedom. Yeah, I don't have any hopes for it at all. I think my biggest problem with it, besides the fact that the people that worked on it don't work there anymore, is Final Fight doesn't need to be remade. They need to make just a Final Fight 4. You know, some people don't like how combo heavy this game is. I like it because it's different. There's a lot more depth to the combat. But the thing about this game is it's its own unique installment. It's not trying to be a remake. So, you still have 3 other games to play if you don't like the way this game plays. Making a remake is a much harder task. Especially something like Final Fight that's like over 30 years old. You're gonna have old farts like me critiquing it, every pixel of it. Whereas if you just made a Final Fight 4, it's like, okay, this game is its own separate entity. It's not trying to remake something that we still draw inspiration from. Shit like Hitstun and like, hold on. Shit like Hitstun and being invincible during throws and stuff, they come from that game. We still use that today. Like, does the game really need to be remade if we're still using those mechanics 30 years later? I honestly hope that leak is false and that they're actually just making a Final Fight 4. It's gonna give them a lot more leeway if they just make a new game like this. It's like, well, if you don't like this, you still have the original 3, which is exactly the same for Final Fight. And you still have 1, 2, and 3 to play. We're not trying to remake something that's sanctified. It still holds up today. And the reason it holds up is because mechanics we take for granted come from that game. So, like, it doesn't need a remake. Just make a new one. If you're gonna make one at all. That's the best thing about this game. It's just not going to appeal to everybody. It's a lot more combo heavy and stuff. A lot more fighting game influence. But, you know, the old games are still there. They didn't tell you, like, oh, this is Streets of Rage 2 remade. People would be furious. Like, this game is its own thing. Clean fight. He went over to the corner really fast. Sealed his fate. Play this room pretty bad. It's all good. Probably not gonna finish this run. It's already 2 in the morning. Okay, I'm definitely not finishing this run now. Good night. Gameplay quality just dropped off a cliff. I think I'm gonna call it there, folks. It's like 2. It's over 2 in the morning. Let's see. Depending on when Jitsu Squad comes out, I shall see you guys then, I guess. I don't really feel like playing anything else, so yeah. Good night.